We kept running and fighting and hiding. We kept running and fighting and hiding. Then, screaming stopped, and I knew everyone was dead. Then, screaming stopped, and I knew everyone was dead. The neighbors started to hunt us. The neighbors started to hunt us. We couldn't see it happening, but we could hear them screaming. We couldn't see it happening, but we could hear them screaming. I heard my parents scream as they were hacked down with machetes. I heard my parents scream as they were hacked down with machetes. The Interahamwe took us to a pit by a roadside to be killed. Claire was a married mother of 2, living in Interahamwe during the genocide. Claire remembers, when the genocide began, my daughter was away working in Kibungo. We waited for her to come home, but we ourselves were in danger. I found out later that my daughter had been killed at her grandfather's home. On 3 May, with my son, the Interahamwe took us to a pit by a roadside to be killed. We were pushed in alive. Then a grenade was thrown in. I lost consciousness. After a while I came to. It felt like I was in a dream, but then I was sure I heard someone passing by. I called out for help. Someone answered, whispering to me to stop calling. He said if the killers heard me, they were sure to come back to finish me off. He told me to keep silent and promised he would return when darkness came to rescue me if I was still alive. I couldn't believe the things I heard. Consolee Ishimwe was 14 years old when the genocide started, and she hid in the homes of friends and neighbors in her small town. When hiding in a neighbor's ceiling, Ishimwe overheard some of the killers talking. She notes, I couldn't believe the things I heard while I was up there. I remember when the killers were describing the people they had murdered. I couldn't even believe what they said. They mentioned my dad's name, that they have murdered him, and how they had tortured and killed him. When she and her family arrived at another friend's house, a group of Hutu killers was waiting for them. Ishimwe continues, they decided to kill my brothers first. They were 9, 7, and the youngest was 18 months old. We were begging to be taken together, but they refused. Never been so scared in my life. Immaculée Ilibagiza was 13 years old when she and 6 other Tutsi women hid in a small bathroom for 91 days. Ilibagiza says, there's a little window in the bathroom. I went up and I looked through the curtains. And I saw like people running inside the house. And we heard them. I can see the spears. So they come inside. Never been so scared in my life. I remember it was like life swept out of your body in a second. I became dry instantly. I couldn't even find saliva to swallow. I was completely a skeleton. I remember myself thinking, looking at my hands. And I was like, this is what the biologists told us about. We really have a skeleton like this. It was completely like I could see every bone. When the killers swarmed the house, Ilibagiza remembers, I heard somebody calling my name. He said, actually that, I have killed 399 cockroaches, and he wanted me to be the 400. I was so scared that he knows where I am. He's so sure. It was like dying alive, really, when I remember the pain of that place. It It was like every day you are like something that is dying, slowly dying thousands of times. We thought no one would kill anyone in a church. Jason Enchimai was a 15-year-old Tutsi high school sophomore when he and his family took refuge in the Muganero church. Enchimai shares, "We thought no one would kill anyone in a church. We started hearing rumors that people were dying around the country, so my family and I decided to run away. When Tutsi leaders asked the president of the church to appeal for the refugees' lives, the president declined because he was Hutu. He was one of the criminals. He told us no matter what we tried to do, we would be killed anyway. The Hutu killers came from every direction. They surrounded the church. They had hand grenades, guns, and machetes. People were dying in every corner. Everywhere I looked, hundreds every minute. I witnessed many of my family members and closest friends die that day. We heard them blowing whistles while they were coming to attack us." Jacqueline Hagenimana was 9 years old at the time of the genocide. She and her family were Tutsi and tried to seek refuge in a church in Mukingi. Hagenimana says in this church, all the people who had come to seek refuge were all locked inside the church. However, all the children, including myself, were taken and locked inside the vesting room that was inside church. Old women were left in the main part of the church, and when the attackers came and found the old women inside the church, they killed all of them. The killers never managed to enter the vesting room where we were hiding. However, they later came to know that we were inside the church, and they came to attack us in church that evening. When we heard them blowing whistles while they were coming to attack us, some members of that church's choir who knew that we were hiding in the vesting room came and took us away and went to hide us in the bush. These choir members refused to take us to their homes for fear that the killer gangs would come to kill us. At the time, I did not know where my family members were, and I had a feeling that they had all been killed.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care, bye.